Hey, 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 beautiful souls. Welcome back to Self Centered, the Yellow Pill podcast where we keep it real, keep it fun, and keep it all about you. I'm your host, Sheena from Style by Sheena and the mastermind behind Lifestyle by Sheena. And today we're diving into a juicy topic that's going to have you rethinking everything you thought you knew about love and relationships. So let's talk about it. Balancing self and partnership, how to thrive together. Because let's be real, relationships can be a beautiful thing, but they can also be a hot mess if you're not careful. How do you maintain your individuality while still nurturing a healthy, thriving partnership? How do you make sure you don't lose yourself in the process of loving someone else? Well, that's what we're breaking down today, yellow pill style. If you've ever found yourself feeling like you're losing sight of who you are in a relationship, or if you're just curious about how to keep the balance between me and we, then buckle up, because this episode is going to hit hard and in the best way possible. The yellow pill philosophy in relationships is where we're going to start. So we're going to start with the basics. So what does it mean to navigate relationships with the yellow pill mindset? Well, first things first, the yellow pill is about self-awareness, self-love, and self-actualization, right? So when it comes to relationships, it's about maintaining those core values no matter what. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The yellow pill mindset isn't about choosing between yourself and your partner. It's about embracing both. It's about understanding that you can be a strong, independent individual while also being a loving, supportive partner. You don't have to lose yourself to be in a relationship, and you don't have to sacrifice your happiness to make someone else happy. In fact, the best relationships happen when both people are thriving as individuals and as a couple. But here's the shocking part. Most of us have been conditioned to think that being in a relationship means merging into one. We start to compromise, we start to bend, and before we know it, we're bending so much that we're about to break. So let me drop this truth bomb on you. You don't have to bend until you break. Now let's talk about what happens when you lose yourself in a relationship. It starts off small. Maybe you start skipping out on your hobbies because your partner isn't into them. Or maybe you start agreeing with things you don't really agree with just to keep the peace. And before you know it, you become a shadow of the person you used to be. And that's never good. It's always important to maintain a sense of self as much as possible when you get into a relationship. You need the other person to see you as the person that they saw when they got into the relationship in the first place. So make sure you maintain a sense of self as long as you're in a relationship. Now, here's the thing. Losing yourself in a relationship is one of the fastest ways to breed resentment, not just towards your partner, but towards yourself. You start to feel disconnected, unhappy, and unfulfilled, but you can't quite put your finger on why. And let me tell you, that's a dangerous place to be. So how do you avoid this? How do you maintain your sense of self while still being a loving, supportive partner? It all starts with recognizing the signs that you're starting to lose yourself and then taking action to course correct. All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. We need some practical tips for balancing self and partnership, because we can talk about it all day, but what do we really need to do in order to maintain our sense of self? Because practicality is important. So tip number one is to prioritize your passions. So no matter what, when you get into a relationship, make sure you're prioritizing your passions. And I don't mean just the ones that your partner likes. I mean the things that light you up, the things that make you feel alive. Whether it's painting, dancing, hiking, binge watching your favorite show, doesn't matter what it is. Don't let those things fall by the wayside. You get to doing what you like to do because these things make you you. Since your passions are what make you you, and they're such a big part of why your partner fell in love with you in the first place, make sure you maintain them. Make time for the things you love and don't feel guilty about it. Remember, You're not abandoning your partner by doing something you love. You're nourishing yourself. And that's going to make you a better partner in the long run, because everybody loves somebody who truly loves themselves. Now we're going to talk about tip number 2, and that is communicating your needs. Make sure you communicate your needs. And I'm not talking about the surface level stuff like what's for dinner, because we all know what we want for that. I'm talking about deep, honest communication about your needs, your desires, and your boundaries. What you need to flourish as your true self, and balance that with what your partner needs. But this might be shocking to some, but your partner is not a mind reader. If you need something, say it. If you're feeling overwhelmed, speak up. If you need some alone time, ask for it. Healthy relationships are built on open, honest communication, and that means being real about what you need to survive. Well, not only survive, but thrive. And here's the yellow pill twist to that. Don't just communicate your needs. You got to encourage your partner to do the same thing, because this is all about nourishing the you, bringing out the you, and their individual you is just as important as yours. So just create a space where you both can express yourselves freely without fear of judgment or rejection. When both people see that they are being heard and feeling respected, that's when the magic happens. That's when the guards are dropped. That's when you start seeing each other for who you really are. And that's when relationships truly flourish. So tip number 3 is embrace the power of me time. I'm a big proponent of me time. I love to take time to myself and just be alone with myself. I'm more of a loner in that sense, and that can be tough in relationships. But for everyone, it's not just a catchy phrase. It's a necessity. No matter how much you love your partner, you still need time to yourself. Time to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with who you are outside of the relationship. You have to balance self in the relationship. And this is a great way to do it, is getting in your me time. And me time isn't selfish. It's honestly self-care. You have to be able to take a step back, check in with yourself, and make sure you're still aligned with your goals, your values, and your happiness. And this is not a task. This is just something that you need to do in order to see how you feel on a daily basis, and then tap into what you need to do to bring you up in your vibration. So it can be anything from a solo spa day, reading a book, getting away for the weekend, getting a great meal out. Just make it happen, and don't apologize for it, regardless of what it is that you need to do to make you feel like you. So you can thrive together without losing yourself. It's all about the balance. It's about creating a relationship where both people are free to be their true selves while also supporting each other's growth. So here's the yellow pill mindset. A healthy relationship isn't about having two halves making a whole. It's about two wholes coming together to create something beautiful. It's about being complete on your own and then choosing to share that completeness with someone else. So you're coming in as a complete person. They're coming in as a complete person. And now you're just sharing your individual completeness. And that's where the yellow pill comes in. So when you take the yellow pill, you're saying, I love myself enough to be true to who I am. And I love you enough to support you in doing the same thing. That's the kind of love that lasts. That's the kind of love that grows. And that's the kind of love that allows both people to thrive individually and together. And that's all we're trying to do. That's what relationships are about, coming together, supporting one another in who we are individually. And speaking of self-love and thriving, I've got something that's going to help you on your journey. And it's my book, The Self-Love Letter. And it's available right now at theselfloveletter.com. This book is your ultimate guide to embracing self-love, setting healthy boundaries, and living your best life. Whether you're single, dating, or in a long-term relationship, inside you'll find powerful affirmations, practical exercises, and heartfelt advice from me that will help you stay true to yourself while you navigate the ups and downs of love. So head over to the Self Love Letter and grab your copy today. Trust me, your future self will thank you. All right, my loves, that's it for today's episode of Self Centered. I hope you're feeling inspired, empowered, and ready to start navigating your relationships with the yellow pill mindset. Remember, you don't have to choose between yourself and your partner. You can have both, and you honestly deserve both. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs a little yellow pill in their life. Next week, we're diving into something even deeper, and it's dealing with how to build healthy, balanced relationships in all areas of your life. So you definitely won't want to miss that. Until then, keep loving yourself, keep thriving, and keep being the incredible person that you are. And as always, take that yellow pill, baby. Later.